Who died in Avengers Endgame? Who didn't come back? Well, today we're giving you those answers and breaking down all of the deathly details for you here on Top 10 Nerd. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Kelly Pally, and today we are talking about Avengers Endgame. Now, I think it goes without saying that this video has some major spoilers in it, and will give away the ending of the movie. So fair warning. We also have a spoiler-free review on our channel, so go check it out if you haven't seen Endgame yet. Now, while compared to Infinity War, there are significantly less deaths of main characters in the movie, but we're going to be talking about 3 major ones that did occur. In addition to that, we'll also be discussing some other deaths and lack of appearances in the film too. So with that in mind, let's jump in. The first major death to happen on screen was Thanos's. The Mad Titan was killed twice. The first time in the present day when the Avengers, after rescuing Tony and Nebula, find out where the Mad Titan was thanks to some very helpful intel from his half-robotic daughter. Rocket does some research and discovers that the Infinity Stones had been used again, with traces of their power surrounding another planet in the galaxy. So the Avengers hop in the Guardian's ship, fly on over there, and then they approach Thanos while he's busy making himself some soup. Don't you just hate it when you make yourself some lunch and then the Avengers storm on in and just decapitate you before you can even eat it? Yeah. I hate it too. Anywho, Thanos tells them that he used the stones to destroy the stones, to which Thor then reacts by decapitating him. The second time Thanos dies is at the very end of the movie, after the final major battle scene. So for context, the Avengers, with the help of Ant-Man, used the quantum realm to time travel to the past to acquire all of the Infinity Stones in an attempt to reverse Thanos' snap. Thanos from 2014, in the past, gets wind of this, when present-day Nebula, being a robot, connects with 2014 Nebula's network, and their memories are shared. Thanos comes after them after they've managed to collect all of the stones, compiling them into a gauntlet built out of one of Iron Man's blaster gloves. A wicked battle then ensues with Thanos blowing up the Avengers compound, and the Mad Titan getting his big purple mitts on the new gauntlet, only for Tony Stark to attack him, trick him, and rip the stones off of him. Tony then attaches the stones to his Iron Man suit and uses them to completely wipe out Thanos and his army, dusting them. Talk about poetic justice. But before we talk more about the ending of the film, let's talk about something that happened in the middle, specifically Black Widow's death on Vormir. As you probably recall, in Infinity War, Thanos manages to obtain the Soul Stone on Vormir by sacrificing the thing he loves most, Gamora. When the Avengers time travel and split up into teams, Black Widow and Hawkeye go to Vormir and encounter Red Skull's spirit, who tells them what they have to do to get the stone. Natasha and Clint fight over who should go, but Nat bests him and sacrifices herself instead. Black Widow's story arc in Endgame is a really potent one. There's a wonderful scene post the time jump 5 years later where we really get to see the emotional trauma that the snap has had on Natasha, with her pain that the only family she's ever known, the family that made her better, are partially lost thanks to the snap. It's some of the best character development that we've gotten from Black Widow to date, so seeing her go was painful to say the least. That being said, there was a moment at the end of the film where Bruce Banner, aka the Bannerfied Hulk, tells Captain America that he tried really darn hard to bring Natasha back while he was wearing the gauntlet. The Hulk being the one who snapped the first time and, restored 50% of all life to the planet and to the universe, which he was able to manage because of his gamma radiation. Now, considering that the Hulk was successful in restoring all of those lives of the people who had been eliminated with Thanos' snap the first time in Infinity War, there could be a chance that Banner was successful in bringing Nat back too when he snapped. There is still Black Willow's solo feature in the pipeline at Marvel Studios, which fans have already speculated will be a prequel following her time in the Red Room. But at this point, who knows? The Infinity Stones are strange and complex objects. Although, it seems likely that she might actually be dead. For reals. Forever. Remember when Black Widow and the Hulk were a thing? That was weird. Moving on to our next death, Iron Man. After Iron Man successfully defeated Thanos, the power of the stones proved to be too much, and drained him of his life force. He ain't got that gamma radiation protecting him. There's a tragic scene in which we witness Tony's last moments alive, surrounded by some of his closest friends and of course Pepper Potts, who showed up to the fight wearing the rescue suit that Tony had made for her. She tells him that he can finally rest now, and he passes away. It's a real tearjerker, and really does complete his story arc that's been playing out for the last 10 years. While it was a satisfying end to the Infinity Saga, it was still one that tugged at our heartstrings, and I think I speak for fans everywhere when I say how much Tony Stark will be missed. So who didn't come back? Well, all of the characters who were dusted in Infinity War were brought back and appeared in the final showdown at the destroyed Avengers compound to face off against Thanos' army. It was an epic moment, but one character in particular was very absent. We're talking Vision. The AI android who was killed in Infinity War during the film's final battle scene died twice on screen, once when Scarlet Witch destroyed him in order to prevent Thanos from getting the Mind Stone, and a second time when Thanos used the Time Stone to to reverse time, bring Vision back to life, and then take the Mind Stone from him himself. Vision was absent in the big battle and confirmed to still be dead when Wanda and Clint had a discussion after Tony's funeral, lamenting their losses, Vision and Natasha. Who else remains a question in the MCU? Loki's survival is perhaps one of the biggest question marks left in the MCU. One of the Avengers groups during the time travel mission heads back to the Battle of New York to attempt to acquire 3 of the Infinity Stones. Tony and Ant-Man fail to get the Tesseract when an unexpected factor comes into play. The Hulk, who had been forced to take the stairs down Stark Tower, smashes through a door and goofs up their scheme. Loki, who was in handcuffs at the time, took advantage of the situation and grabbed the Tesseract, teleporting away. This is why Steve and Tony had to go back to the 70s in order to obtain it then, and also obtain more Pym particles so they could successfully make that journey home. But Loki teleporting away had many fans wondering if that change in the timeline will alter whether or not Loki dies, since the character wouldn't be in Asgard for Thor: The Dark World, and therefore wouldn't have taken over as Odin for years afterwards, only to be unveiled in Thor: Ragnarok. There are a lot of questions pertaining to some of the changes in the past caused by this time travel, including whether or not Captain America, who at the end of the film decided to stay in the past to be with Peggy, will affect events to come, and if that means certain characters or certain events will pan out differently. In addition to that, considering Vision didn't make an appearance, there's a lot of speculation as to whether the WandaVision spin-off show will still include the android, or whether it will be a prequel of sorts. Maybe the title was just misdirection from Marvel Studios to, not spoil anything. Maybe it's just a Scarlet Witch show. Considering that Vision was one of the characters who was sacrificed for the stones, and that the consequences of Infinity War remained the same and stood up, might prove that any other characters that died prior to the snap, including Heimdall, and characters that died this time around like Black Widow, won't be coming back either, ever. Sorry to potentially debunk that fan theory from earlier again. It still hurts. It's also worth noting that Gamora stayed dead, but her character has returned from 2014 now in present day, and is somewhere in the galaxy unknown. Note that this is pre-Guardians Gamora, and that this Gamora hasn't fully met the Guardians yet, meaning it's likely that the next Guardians film will be centered around the team reuniting with her. Now, it wouldn't be fair to do a kill count video and not mention the casualties from the big battle at the end of the movie. There's definitely a lot of soldiers that were killed on Thanos' army, and also the Wakanda sorcerer etc. army. Likely a lot of people died during that battle. Thanos' rain of fire, which was just, bombs coming from a ship, literally bombarded the battlefield, and as Ebony Maw warned, likely killed a ton of Thanos' troops in the process. Speaking of, let's talk about the Black Order. While the Black Order made a cameo in this movie, with Ebony Maw really being the only one who got lines out of the group, during the epic end fight scene we do get to see the remaining Black Order members get dusted after Tony Stark pops the Infinity Stones onto his suit and uses them to end Thanos' reign of terror. You can actually spot certain members of the Black Order being dusted in the background of a shot of Thanos looking around after Tony has snapped his fingers, just before Thanos himself bites the dust. Yes, pun intended. Alright, there we have it, friends. What are your thoughts about all the deaths in Avengers Endgame? Who do you think is gonna come back? And who do you think is gone for good? Let us know in those comments below, and be sure to subscribe to Top 10 Nerd for all of your Endgame and MCU content. In the meantime though, thanks for watching, friends. I'll catch you on the next video.